Hey everybody, it's Lisa, the owner of the Vintage Gypsy. I also have an online shop called the Salty Gypsy Boutique. I'm also the admin, I know I'm busy, for the Silhouette Cameo School for Newbies Facebook group that helps newbies learn how to use their cameo machines. We have a bunch of tutorials out there on YouTube. Feel free to come out and join our group. I'm mainly doing this for the girls that are in our group that asked me to make a video on how to do reusable stencils. Now I'm going to show you a finished product as well, how it looks, because some people can't wrap their mind around what it looks like when you're done. I can show you on the screen, but you actually need to see what it looks like when it cuts out. I'm going to be using glue stencil vinyl. If you want a reusable stencil, I suggest you use like either transparency sheets or actual stencil blanks that you can get from like Hobby Lobby or Walmart, or any of them carry them like that. You can also order something called Mylar, which is similar to the transparency sheets. And I can also let you guys know where I order those from and which ones I order the transparency sheets. But you can get Mylar as well on Amazon. I'm just showing you what I do. So the easiest way to do it, and it's really simple, especially when I show you what the end product looks like. So I'm going to do two ways. I'm going to do a block font, and I'm going to do a script font. Same process, but you may have a few more swirls that you need to keep in. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in for you. I'm probably going to zoom closer. Okay, so the one thing you're going to need is you're going to need to know how to use your knife function. So for version 4, which is what we're using, I'm also business edition, so my screen may look a little different than yours, but for the most part what we're doing, you can do exactly the same in your Silhouette Designer Edition. So right now the knife function is over on the left-hand toolbar. Okay, click your knife function, because the goal is to keep all these pieces in when we go to use our stencil. Okay, you don't want to have them come out and then go put them back in. So for my P, I'm actually going to just cut across it. So I have one line. So watch me zoom in again. This is for your benefit so you can see a little bit better. This is actually too small of a space to hold it in, so I'm going to do one more line. I try and do kind of close to it, just like that. And then you're going to delete out the little pieces that you cut out. Zoom back out. I'm going to do the same thing to the P's, the O. So it's like the O's, the A's, the P's, the swirly loops like when you're doing cursive font or something like that. So this one I'm going to put here, and I'll zoom in one more time. Now you want to make sure it's kind of close, because you do not want this very big, because you are going to have to go back in and paint these little sections eventually if you're doing wood signs. So delete that part, delete that part. Okay, so the next one I'm just going to move on, and I'm going to do the A. Ooh, too far away, too far away. Okay, so I'm going to do the A. Same thing, except I might do it just straight down the middle here, like the P I did across. It's going to depend on the letter. Okay, so put it right beside it, and then delete that little tiny piece in the middle. There we go. So for the ones that are cursive, so I need to do in here and here, and the loop on the L. And sometimes if you have like the extra swirls on the end that have more loops in it, you'll need to do it on everything that has a loop, or else those pieces will fall out. So for my E, do the same thing here. And you can do any direction. Like the E, it's easier for me to do it this way. I could do straight up and down if I wanted to. I have to be different, so I'm going to do it just like this. If it moves, just click your undo button. Mine's trying to zoom in on me here. Hold on. And then remember, delete these little pieces. And all I'm doing is hitting, you select it, you can right click and hit delete, okay? Or you can actually hit delete on your keyboard. They both work the same, okay? So if you're wondering what I'm doing in the background, that you're like, you're not selecting that, that's why. So my A, I'm going to go back to my knife function. I messed that one up, so let's click undo, knife again, come down through the center, and I'm going to do one more side. Just like that. And then remember, you want to delete those little tiny pieces inside. So if you really think about it, when you look at this, if you look at a stencil that you've bought somewhere in the past, it's exactly the same concept. So let's do my L. One slice, two slices. It's like we're slicing pie, right? Okay, so Oh, I got too far out, didn't I? Okay. See how it's all ungrouped at this point? So you want to select everything, right click, and you want to group it. Now, one thing I did not show you is when you're doing cursive letters, you need to make sure that you have welded everything prior to starting. So cursive or script, you need to weld first. So I'm going to group it. And then at this point, I'm ready. I can actually go over to my send. I can choose whatever material I'm going to use. Make sure you've done your test cuts for that. You know, I don't use auto blade. I always change mine to ratchet. And then you hit send. And then once it cuts out, it's actually going to look like this. So this is actually how it should come out, just like this. So you can see the little lines that are holding it in. So once you stencil and remove your stencil, you're going to need to go back in and get it right and paint these little areas, just like here, between the A's and the E's. Okay, now if you weed your stencil incorrectly, this is a bad stencil. This is what it looks like. And yes, I did that. I screwed it up. But that is the easiest way to tell you how to make your reusable stencils. So if you guys have any questions, you can always get a hold of me on Facebook. You can message me. You can go to our Facebook group, talk to me there. Feel free to ask questions on the page anytime at all. You can tag me or Kylan. She's the other admin on the group. Other than that, if you've got any questions, just yell. Thank you.